long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we were... Dude, let me do this! Sciorpe!
You're gonna get copyrighted.
No, we're not! A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, we were promised a game. But what we got was a shiny dog turd. And that game was Battlefront.
The new one, anyways.
The new one. Welcome back to...
Salt and Savagery.
Salt and Savagery. Today we're going to talk about Battlefront.
That's not.
The biggest disappointment in gaming history in my book. Once again, we're joined by the lovely Sciorpe, Chunx, and that other guy named Timmy. Let's dig into it. Okay, Battlefront.
Well, let's suck dick. Let's just...
This one...
I am disappointed.
You know, okay, so Chunx bought it, he bought the season pass. We have every bit of content that has come out for it. Gameplay-wise, does it feel like the original? I'm gonna say yes. Why? Because it does. I like it. Over the shoulder, it plays it's clean. Like, I have no complaints about it.
You can do third person, you can switch between first person.
Yeah, like...
gameplay-wise, it feels like the first two, which I was hoping for. I was hoping for the feel of the first two.
I
wouldn't say it felt like the first two, because it was definitely not the same kind of big battle kind of thing you got. But as far as your immediate character, it played like the first two.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed you can't go prone. I enjoyed going prone. That was only the first one anyway. So yeah, gameplay, like, I'm not even going to touch on gameplay, because overall it's acceptable. Like, I love the gameplay. Yeah. The flying is fun.
Okay. If there wasn't already two amazing and loved Battlefronts, this would have been and could have been an acceptable first ever Battlefront.
Yeah.
But considering we have the other two to base it off of, this
is shit. The look of the game is amazing.
Oh my god, the look of it, the SFX, oh my god, so good.
Dude, like those Endor maps.
What? The Endor map, oh my god.
Oh, dude, it's so amazing.
Yeah, when you're just running through the forest and there are blaster bolts flying into trees creating all these sparks, it feels like you're in a Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job. They did a really good job of transporting you to the
galaxy
Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
See, the thing is,
go ahead.
With this game, is that in every single aspect, except that it didn't, it should have succeeded.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, everyone likes every single aspect of it, except they hate the game.
Yeah, because it didn't come together.
Well, well, half the problem is, okay, launch day.
I have a list of things that I can go off on a tirade that could have made this game absolutely successful.
Let's just start from the
DLC
beginning.
that's coming out right now should have been the first part of the game.
All the DLC they have now, from Outer Rim to Death Star, should have been part of the game at launch.
Yeah.
Launching with 3 maps is absurd. I don't know what money-shysting company was like, EA, was like, that's a good idea. Because that killed the game instantly. Any reviewer who played it was like, the game's good, but I get bored of playing on the same 3 Endor maps.
Yeah. Imagine if EA and DICE, the same developers who do the Battlefield franchise, pulled the same crap they did with Battlefront on Battlefield. Battlefield would be nowhere where it is today.
No. And this day and age, like this whole money thing where it's like, we're just gonna squeeze them for every penny, and then we'll slowly. They obviously have it pre-made because they launch them too easy. Yeah, it's like, it's so stupid. They killed their own game because of this content lock, and it's like, what were you thinking, dude? A modern shooter with no maps, like, my god.
And with DLC, the release of that DLC was executed by a mentally ill person. Because, no offense to mentally ill people,
Timmy,
but why would you release content such as Outer Rim, Bespin, and Death Star, where you add in new game modes, new maps, but the only way that you can get to those new game modes and new maps is if you only play that DLC. You literally pigeonhole your gameplay into one pack of content. So if you want to play, for example, I want to do the trench run, or I want to do some mode. What was the new mode in the Bespin DLC?
Where you protect the generators or whatever.
Yeah. We want to do that. But they didn't add any of those game modes to any other map. So if you were doing like the 40-man or 12-man, they have the little, it's like all the 40-player modes or all the 12-player modes. If you do that, you literally will only play vanilla Battlefront. So you will get
Walker
3
Assault
maps,
and all that,
3 maps, 4 modes, that's it. And so literally you have to play like, I really like that game mode, but I can't just play that game mode because the only way to play that game mode is by accessing the DLC, and I'm stuck doing the Fighter Squadron, I'm stuck doing the Blast, and I'm stuck doing the whatever. That's all part of that DLC because they don't make any more modes on any of the other maps.
And you can only play that content. Like, you want to try the new Death Star stuff, but you can't put it in the rotation. So you're just stuck playing the 3 same Death Star modes. And it's like, I'm bored of this. I get bored so quick. You know, Chunx and I get on when new content comes out. We hit the max. We unlock the new stuff, which is like barely anything. Because 2 guns a DLC is a good move. So there's like, there's 5 guns in the game or whatever. It's like, whatever. Yeah. So it's like, it gets boring because you hit the cap, you buy the stuff, you leave. Like, there is no, I'm just gonna hit it on instant action, play all the ones I want, and hit it. You know, like, it's just...
see, that's the thing. Was this game just, it lacked in the multiplayer ease of access kind of thing. Like, the instant access in the other ones, you could queue up literally every single game mode, every single type, all at once.
Yeah.
Well, if you watch the pre-launch trailers and all that stuff that DICE did, they put so much stock, not in the fact that their gameplay was going to be amazing, they put so much stock in their locations. Like, all they advertise, like, look, we went to the locations of the movie and took pictures. That's it. They literally carried all the hype of their game on the legacy of what Battlefront is, and the fact that they were making the maps look photorealistic and amazing.
Yeah.
Nowhere did they ever say the gameplay was going to be top-notch. So I feel that both EA and DICE, as much as they like to say we're doing this for the players and it is fanfare, it really was a money grab because of what the intellectual property is.
Oh, they know the IP is going to sell.
They knew that they could half-ass a game, eke out barely any content, just enough to say that they are doing something to the game, and that people would buy it solely by the fact that it did say Star Wars Battlefront on the front of the box.
Well, not to mention, they refused to do... They stuck to, what's it called? The original 3 movies, right? 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They refused to do Clone Wars, which... What are they thinking? That was a huge part of the first Battlefront. Like, we're going to do some clone stuff now. You know, like... I don't know. There's so much that's sour about this game. And then, on top of that, the fact they're already working on a sequel. Like, why does there need to be a sequel? When you could just add DLC?
Yep.
You know, it's like, why... So I'm going to lose everything from this game. We're going to have to start all over again. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I mean...
Because, like, at least with the original Battlefronts, like, I really don't like playing as clones and fighting droids. Okay, but there was still a lot you could do with the Galactic Civil War era. Whereas when they come out with this sequel that is going to be the Clone Wars, maybe I don't like playing the Clone Wars. But
they haven't even shown that it's going to be the Clone Wars.
Hypothetically speaking,
it's going to be original again. It showed X-Wing.
Oh my god.
So why are they making a sequel?
So basically, they're gonna make a sequel of the same gameplay. I'm gonna lose everything.
I don't know. Like,
they're just going about it so bad, so wrong, so bad.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and then the customization that everybody wanted, or should I say lack thereof, just swapping out heads. That was pretty revolutionary.
I mean,
to
be fair, I get it.
I'm sorry, this game makes me really salty because I'm a huge fan of the original Battlefront.
Yeah, and my thing is
this is downright insulting.
DICE isn't usually one for customization anyway, so the head swaps for the Rebels is not that bad to me. But the fact that the Stormtroopers, it's like, oh, you can be orange pauldron, black pauldron, a Stormtrooper that has red stripes, but they only add them every 5 DLCs. You get one. There's a ton of Stormtrooper variants from the EU.
Yeah. This is what I was hoping for, and I've told Thibz this all the time. That the customization they should have had was when you start the game, no matter what planet you're on, you're either a basic Rebel Trooper with just a jacket, pants, a holster, and a rifle and a helmet, or a basic Stormtrooper like you see, just regular Gen 1 Stormtrooper. And then as you play and level up, you unlock different customizations, different helmets, chest rigs, webbings. As Stormtroopers, you can unlock all sorts of different backpacks and armor variations, stuff like that. So you could say, instead of just making a Shadow Trooper in the game, you just change the color of your Stormtrooper to black. You can add logos on it, so you can create an emblem just like in the Battlefield series. And to be honest with you, I think their card system kind of limited their gameplay in regards to just overall satisfaction. Because with the class systems, it really allows people to have a specific type of gameplay and really rely on other players. So if you're playing on a map where there's a lot of vehicles and nobody's playing a class that has a rocket launcher or any explosives, your team's going to be hurting. So that way you really have to change your gameplay to the map that's going on instead of just swapping a card, which I can see what they wanted to do. They didn't want to lock people into a class, but I feel like the class is in a first-person shooter, which it has third person, but it's a first-person shooter, same genre.
I hate the card system. I hate it.
They need the classes, and that could have even helped out with more customizations, because then as you play the class, you unlock more customizations for that class. So like your rocket trooper, different types of rocket launchers, different types of armors, different blast plates on the helmets, or no helmet. If you do no helmet, different like scarring on the head, or maybe tattoos, backpacks, different types of armor, packs on the legs, leg packs with all sorts of stuff on it, just all sorts of just different things that would have made the game a lot more fun to play and worthwhile playing, because look, I can unlock all this crap for my guy. And
but to be fair, Battlefront has never been a customization game. It's all about the big battles, just get in there infantry style.
Granted, Battlefront was never about customization. The one thing that players wanted, that when they look at the original Battlefronts and they go, if there's one thing we could change, it was that there was customization. That's what people wanted.
They did do customization in the PSP version.
The Rogue Squadron, I think it was. In the
Renegade
Battlefront. Yeah, Renegade Squadron. They did have some customization in changing the colors and whatnot.
You could change some units around, yeah.
That was again kind of a half-ass.
It was on PSP, dude. PSP.
Yeah. But it was still a better game than this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everything
there
about
was so much more to do.
It's so flat.
Yeah. And I was hoping for the original 32 on 32.
Yeah, big battles,
conquest maps that you see from Battlefront. Even in Battlefield, Battlefront was the heart and soul of Battlefront was conquest.
Right.
It really was.
We were all expecting
after point.
Yeah, there was a lot of strategy that you could do to really change the game by depending on what points you took. With the quote unquote conquest that's in this new Battlefront, it's not really conquest. It's a tug of war. Rush. Yeah. It's rush as a tug of war, so you could go either way. It's not really conquest because it literally just becomes a Zerg fest. For example, on Hoth, of fighting in the tunnels in Echo Base.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Lobbing grenades at each other until somebody runs out of points.
Right.
So there's really no strategy involved. That's where my biggest letdown was. It was conquest, but not really.
The thing is, we all heard, oh, EA DICE are taking over, right? That's Battlefield. We were all expecting Star Wars Battlefield. Instead, we got Star Wars Call of Duty.
To be honest with you, I would have been perfectly fine if it was a Battlefield clone, just as Star Wars.
And in third person, like...
I mean, I would
Yeah, in third person. With all the, like, they have so many weapons in Battlefield, like, when you download Battlefield, the multiplayer, the vanilla, is exactly where Battlefront is at now after 3 expansions.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, and expecting for a Battlefield-esque game, which is what the first 2 were like, and then we got these smaller maps, kind of, choke pointy things that you see in Call of Duty. So instead of getting a big, awesome version of Star Wars, we got a lame Call of Duty.
Yep. And that's the thing about
2020 version.
Yeah, that's the thing about Star Wars. It was these huge, immense battles. For example, the Battle of Geonosis. That battle looked huge in the movie.
Yeah.
None of the battles in the new Battlefront even seem that way. Like they kind of touched on it with the new Death Star DLC with the space missions.
Right.
It's a day late and a dollar short for that.
Yeah.
Right. It felt, instead of fighting a war, it felt like you were fighting a skirmish.
Yeah, and you can't tell me they don't have the tech to do it, because they do.
Yeah, it's Star Wars, not Star. It's fight.
Yeah.
It's not Star Wars poke each other with sticks.
And then let's talk about this failed shit, they're complaining there's no co-op, because I don't know about you guys, I grew up playing co-op with Chunx. That's what we did.
Yeah.
It was split screen, hashtag bring back split screen.
Hashtag bring back split screen.
That was my childhood, was we'd come home from school, Chunx and I would boot it up, split screen, instant action, and play for hours with no issues.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what we did all.
No, and we weren't online at that time. We didn't have Xbox Live.
There was no online.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
there was.
They did have online
but
for
we
the
didn't
second
need it.
one, but
you didn't need it.
Yeah, you didn't need it. You would hook up that little 4-piece PS2 controller. If you were rich, you had 2 of them and 8 controllers, and you linked them all up, and then you just played 8 of your buddies, or 2 of your buddies, or just you and your brother.
Yeah, this co-op they released, Chunx and I tried it out, maybe for 10 minutes. It is so buggy. It is so buggy and crappy.
Not only is it buggy, but it locks you into 2 classes. You can't even play the classes and builds that you have on the online multiplayer.
No, you're stuck.
What they say, you should be playing this.
The AI is retarded, which is like, really, DICE? We're in 2016, and you can't put a smart AI? It's just like,
It's wave survival crap.
Yeah.
I play a fucking indie game that has better AI than fucking Battlefront.
Yeah, and it's like,
terrible.
it's insulting, because it's like, they threw it in as a, let's shut the players up, and they'll keep paying, It's like, it's so gross.
We're not shutting up, so...
I mean, the thing is...
The single-player game modes in the Battlefields, i.e. that awesome chess game of the Galactic War that you could do.
Oh, yeah.
Right, in 2.
And it had a storyline.
Yeah, you could conquest planets. It was literally, you were playing a strategy board game, because you had to build units, you would conquest planets, you would siege planets.
Yeah.
And then they had the individual story campaigns, like for example, the Rise of the Empire, and each one you played as different factions. They had the Rise of the Empire, the Rebellion one. They had the one we played as the droids, doing missions right there. Where they take you from planet to planet and do that. And you had the one with the clones.
Yeah.
Right.
So and then they even had the quote unquote campaign, which was the single player experience in the second one, where you played as the 501st clones going from planet to planet, doing these objectives.
Yeah.
So that right there is already more than the new Battlefront has today.
Yeah, and it's okay. On a side note, I'm looking this up. So they are planning on making a Battlefield in 2017. The game will have bigger and better worlds.
Battlefront, you mean?
Yeah, did I say Battlefield? Whatever.
You said Battlefield.
Yeah, and then it says EA plans to release one new Star Wars game every year for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
So
right.
basically, what they're trying to do is the watered down crap that they did with Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, where it's like the quality is not even there yet, and they're just gonna start spitting these games out. I don't see a future for these games.
Basically, they're just saying, we know you're gonna buy our crap, so we're gonna give you crap.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stick a fancy box.
Well, what Disney has planned for Star Wars is that they're going to release a movie every year.
For the next 20,000 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
every other year will be a main storyline movie, so the Skywalker story, and then every year in between that will be an anthology film. So basically what it sounds like is EA DICE is going to try to cash in on all these new movies that come in with a new game
that has nothing to do with the movie.
Correlating to the new launch of a movie. So basically you'll see new heroes that are related to the movie. Like, so, for example, the next DLC is the
Rebels.
Scarecrow.
Rebels, really? Did I really just say that?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
you did.
the Sciorpe expansion for Rogue One.
And on a side note, that right there is like, let's capitalize. They won't do Clone Wars, but they'll do this bullshit one DLC Rebel, whatever crap. I'm flustered.
Yeah,
Because it's a shitty game.
So basically, that's what I feel like that X-Pack right there, Scarab, is probably what we're gonna see for the subsequent games. It's gonna be a game that's gonna cash in instead of having one base game. So Battlefront, where it launched with all the maps from that, from vanilla to Death Star. And then instead of, with every new movie, the DLC is, okay, hey, you spend $20, you buy this DLC, boom, now you can add all these new game modes and times to the vanilla game modes, and you'll be able to intermix all these different ones. Like you could mix custom playlists of Clone Wars and Galactic Civil War era. So basically, what they're going to do is they're going to charge us $60 for a new game every year. That we're going to lose everything we did in the subsequent game, or the previous game, and we'll only have a year to play it before a new one comes out. So basically, in a truly completed game, you should not be able to complete it within a year. At least max out.
Yeah.
Like, you should just be like, for the hardcore gamer, I would expect probably maxing out roughly in a year of a lot of playing. And then once you max out, you should have at least time to play at that maxed out level, so you can actually enjoy like the fruits of your labor.
I'm telling you, dude,
So
it's
basically,
watered down Call of
if
Duty crap. That's all it is.
it is.
If they're gonna build these games to be played in a year, I can expect that we're gonna get half-ass content at half-ass quality, just so that they can justify coming out with a new game every year.
Totally.
Like, look, we have this new stuff now, instead of just making one solid core game. And like, I would if Battlefront now was a solid game, I would gladly spend $20 once a year for a new expansion that would incorporate all the new content that Disney is coming out with in regards to Star Wars.
Yeah, most definitely.
But the thing
they're
is,
not.
they're not doing that. So it's really making me hesitant to buy a new Star Wars game when I'm going to lose all the work I put into it.
And then barely play it to begin with.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
It's like, look at your Battlefront disc right now. It's a dust collector, dude. We barely play it.
Dust collector.
Because they don't value what their customers want. They just value what is going to make them the most money off of the customer.
Yeah. Who made the original? Was it Pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gone now. And, like, DICE is a good company with the Battlefield series, which completely took me by surprise with this one. I really feel like it was EA just really pushing down on them, because DICE isn't normally this shiesty.
Okay, so I looked it up right now. So how long has Battlefront been out? About
a year?
About a year and a half.
About a year now, right?
Yeah.
In less than 2 years even, the total amount of players has dropped under 10,000 for a daily average.
Yeah. It's crap, dude.
Well, yeah, which is for a AAA game.
That's over all 3 consoles. That's PC, phone, and PS4. The fan base is not there.
Please.
The fans are starting to recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely do not see a future in these games.
I don't either.
It's gonna go one way, and I see it. They're gonna start getting less and less people playing, so the quality is gonna drop from where it is. So basically, the quality they put into the maps this iteration is gonna slowly go down and down and down and down until they're just not gonna create them anymore.
Right.
So
I feel like it's gonna be the opposite of the Destiny project, right?
Yeah.
Destiny flopped right off the bat.
And then it got better, and now it's a good game.
Well, that's because the developers take a moment and they look at what's going on and they change it. Whereas
they listen to their community.
Yeah, whereas DICE is right now is just producing crap, and then people, they say it, and then they just, here's some more crap. In a month from now, you're going to get 4 more maps that are crap, and then next year we're going to make a new game, which is going to be crap. So, it's a shit pile. I don't know where else to go. It's...
On that note, like, subscribe, comment, tell us how much you hate the game. If you like the game, I don't know how. I don't.
If you like the game, then you probably shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
If you like the game, you probably haven't played the originals, which go do that.
Get a PS2. It's probably going to be like $10-15 for the PS2 in the game.
Dude,
play the games.
You can pick them up on Steam for like
$1.
Yeah, you can get them on Steam. But it doesn't have the multiplayer for Steam.
Last year they had the what's it called sale, the May 4th sale. I picked up the whole collection for like $1, so it's out there.
Until May 4th.
Yeah, go play it. Like Sciorpe said, if you like this game, we can't be friends anymore. Still subscribe, comment, tell us how we can't be friends. Like the video, share it to all your friends so they can be like, yeah, you're an idiot. And I guess that's it. I got nothing. Yeah. Yep. Bye.
I said my piece.
Bye, everybody.